I started recording the session. See, everybody should be having a Twitter account here because we'll be working with Twitter often because that will be a streaming data. Is visible, right? Guys, is that visible? Yes. Okay. Great. All right. So what I do here is I try to create a new application in Twitter. Let's say date today. Okay. Let's say actually that's my website. Okay, so what I did is like I just giving an application name in Twitter. Okay, then giving a description. A description should be at least a 10-digit character, and you can give up to 200 characters. And of course, you need a website. This is a website, guys. This is my website. It's half baked actually. I have plans to revamp the website as well. If you guys would like to contribute, yes, you can. You are welcome for that. See, this takes a long time. All right, just ignore that. Basically, a website. Okay, and you need not to give a callback URL, but if you want, you can give that in real time, and just go with the tutor agreement. If you want, I just give yes, checking yes, and create a new application. And if you pop up with something here, error rate exceeded. Okay. What is that? Okay. Unfortunately, unexpected error. I don't know what is this. Let me try this maybe in a different browser. Internet is working, but I don't know what happened. See, for creating an app, you must have a Twitter account. Okay, so I would request you all guys to have a Twitter account. If you don't have, please create one. We'll be working with few Twitter data basically for finding out the buzzwords for any products or like that in the future classes and practicals, or let's say for project as well. So what I'm creating here is a new application name. Let's say like 18/12/2018. This is just a date. Description. And the website could be like HTTPS. Yes, I'm not doing that. I'm just reading out. Okay, so now see on the top screen, you are having something green here. So it says like your application has been created. Please take a moment to review and adjust your application settings. Yes, we need it. So what we do is like we'll be doing some small changes here. So this is your application name. So in real scenarios, like you can mention any name. I just give a dummy name here, and you can add up your website. Like if you have your personalized website or your company website, you can do that, and you can assign your organization name and website here. There is 4 tabs here: details, settings, key and access tokens, and permission. So we will be working with key and access tokens. Okay. So in this page, in this tab, this is part of application setting, and the first one is consumer key, and this is important, guys. And this is the next one is consumer secret, API secret. This is also important one. And here says the access level is read and write. If you want to change modification, you can do that by clicking here. And of course, this is my Twitter ID, and this is my owner ID. And see, if you want to regenerate a new keys, you can always click here, but I don't think you need any of those. And the last bottom of the screen, like you have something called as token action. Okay. And above that, your access token. So you don't have access, have a authorized access here. So for that, you need to have. See, basically, when you try to interact with API, you need 4 important things. Okay. One would be your consumer key, your consumer secrets, and your token access, and your token key. Okay. So I'm creating a new token, access token here. Status says like it's generated, and it takes some time here. You refresh, you can see that, otherwise you can find that at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so here we created a new access token, and token secret also has been created. Finally, before I go out of Twitter, I also keep this one, access direct messages, and I create update settings. So first step, what I did is create Twitter application one. Okay. Step two, we are creating let me finish this. So we are done with this. We created update settings. Yeah. Okay. After that, we need to try to test one. So this is one. It should come up with four major components from Twitter API. That is your consumer secret, and then token key and token secret. So it pops up by default. Right. So what I do here, I just note down the key. Okay. So this will be the consumer key. Okay. And this is your consumer secret. And access token. And my token secret as well. Okay, so these are the major thing. By default, when you click on test auth, basically it's a system to authenticate on online only kind of thing. So it should pop up with this fourth thing. I don't know what happened. It's not popping up. Should be a problem with my browser or with map environment. Right. So now what we do, like we'll go to our terminal now. I think we're already there. So we'll go to the configuration path. So it's similar like what we did yesterday. Okay, then okay, so we need to get into the configuration folder. Right, so we are here basically. That's going to be our working directory. So what we'll do is like we will create a Twitter configuration file. Okay, we created some configuration file lastly. This was the configuration file. We did that yesterday. Okay, so we will create a similar one today, and basically that for Twitter. Okay, and we tried yesterday with 4444 port, and we did a netcat. Today we'll be trying to bring down the Twitter data from Twitter and try to store that in HDFS. Okay, so that will be our goal. So now what we do is like we'll create a configuration file naming conf. Okay. So basically, this configuration file needs to define the sources, the channels, and the sinks. Okay, and sources and channels are basically defined as per the agent, right? So first thing what we do is like we will name the Twitter agent. Okay, and before that we are in view mode. We are totally in a view mode. So let's go ahead and type I. So it's in insert mode. So we can type whatever anything you want. Okay. So first we will name an agent like Twitter agent dot sources equal to Twitter. Okay. Then we name that source as Twitter, and we will define the channels. Instead of A1, I name this here as Twitter agent. Okay, so this will be the agent name. Then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to define the channel's name here. Okay, so Twitter agent channels. Okay, so basically we are trying to pull that through in memory. Next is Twitter agent. We'll define the destination, that is sinks equal to HDFS. Like I said, like we are trying to pull the data from Twitter and trying to store that in our HDFS. Okay. Then let's define the sources. Let's say sorry, agent sources Twitter type. So basically, the source type is it's going to come from on Cloudera. So Cloudera has their own source. So this will be the source.com cloudera.flume source feature source. Okay, and then we will define the channel as well. Before doing that, let me copy this one. Because I'm going to reuse it. Okay, so one is type, and another one would be channels. Yes. So the channel is going to be M channel. Okay. And next could be like consumer key. Okay. So what is your consumer key? I have stored that here. Okay. So consumer key is this, right? API key. So I did that here. I copied and pasted it. Then what I do, I need consumer secret. Yes. Okay. Consumer secret. Yeah. I have defined that here, and then we'll define the access token. Access token could be like then we will define what access token secret here. Okay, and we will also we should also mention the keywords, right? So what are the keywords we are trying to identify? Let's say, okay, see, what I'm trying to do is pulling some data, right? So what data I need, what keyword I need. Let's say I have I would like to know about Adidas or brand. Something related to Adidas. Okay, so I'm just trying to pull that, uh, pull all the data, something, anything mentioned on the Twitter. Let me show something. So people used to talk many things. I mean, like they used to tweet many things, right? Put some hashtag and they used to put something. So let's say like I'm not following much. All right, so basically, this Twitter is a platform where you can find all the hashtag and some opinions on the product or anything, right? Like I said, for some POCs, some use cases I have told, right? So we can basically mention the keywords here. Let's say like let's find the buzzwords: Hadoop, big data analytics, big data, cloud era, data science. Scientist, map, radios, house, Mahout, house, So these are the data. If I want to pull any data from Twitter, this will be the data that any keywords, anything with the keywords, like any sentence. If somebody is tweeting, like if Neha is tweeting something, some sentence like Hadoop is interesting, and it's a very important course you should go through, like that. If she's tweeting, so that tweets will be pulled using this keyword. Okay, and basically we are trying to configure that here. Okay, and after pulling the data, we will play with other Hadoop tools, like basically Twitter. Twitter data are going to be in JSON, and JSON is a semi-supported, semi-structured data. Okay, so we will learn about how to clean that, how to filter things, and we'll learn to how to process it in other respective topics. But as of now, we are trying to configure Twitter now. Okay, and so far so good, right? I mean, like, it should be understandable. Twitter agent. Yes, I need to sync. I need to mention the destination. The destination is going to be HDFS, and this channel is through. It's 9 o'clock. Through mem channel. Okay, and then Twitter agent syncs HDFS dot type to HDFS. Okay, Twitter. Basically, I'm configuring all the sync related stuffs here. So first thing I configure what is the destination is HDFS and through the channel mem channel. Okay, and it's also the type of HDFS type. And next I need to mention HDFS path basically. So for that, HDFS path equal to /user /Cloudera feature underscore Cloudera. Okay, it's okay. Like we are mentioning this path going to be under the users Cloudera. This is the folder where the data will be saved. Okay, you need not to create a new folder basically, because we have the particular location till here, and if the Hadoop if HDFS doesn't find create automatically. Okay, next we'll create the file type. Basically the HDFS file type. So the file type is data stream because it's streaming, and it will upload simultaneously. And let's write a format. HDFS. So text is going to be your format. Next we will mention the batch size. So this is going to be batch size with 1000 bytes. We also mentioned the rollout size. So if it reaches the size, it will come back with 1000 bytes again. Okay. Now let's do roll count. 10,000 for roll count. So far, we did what we did is like we named the Twitter agent. Basically, we named the agent as Twitter agent. Then we created the source from this thing, like for Cloudera, and then we created a channel in memory, and we have defined the API, basically consumer key and the consumer secret here. And then we tried, we configured the access token, and then we mentioned the token secret, and then we tried to pull these keywords basically from Twitter, and we also configured the sinks, the destinations, and all stuff related to destination. The channel is going to be through mem channel, and the type, HDFS type, and the path. Okay, and you need not to create a new folder like this. You can simply mention here, and if I mention even if you uh, don't have the folder, it will create by itself as mentioned. And we are putting as a data stream type. The type of the file is going to be data stream. Then we have a writing format as text, and the batch size is 1000. The rollout size will be 1000, and the roll count is going to be 1000. Okay, so for this, I don't think the roll size be 0. Okay. Now let's define the channel feature agent channel dot mem channel, and its type is going to be memory, and okay. So we defined the channel as well. Okay, as the type is going to be memory type, and with the capacity of 10,000 bytes, and the transaction capacity is going to be 100. Okay, so what I do, I'm just hitting the escape key, and then typing this and trying to save. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I think I have logged in with my Cloudera user. What I need to do is like I need to switch to so whatever you have to do, you need to do it in root user, okay, and make sure that you're creating under the configuration folder, okay. So now if you want, it's created. You can see that whatever we typed, it's saved now with naming the Twitter agent here, and we define the consumer secret key, access tokens, everything. So it's all done. Okay. Now the next step is like let's create a dependency jar. Okay. So basically, like why we are creating this dependency jar, because we we pulled it from basically this Twitter has been is it's we are getting the sources from GitHub, that is from Cloudera's thing. Let me show that as well. Uh, okay, so basically we are trying to follow this one. So you can have a notes from this. So this guy, they did what they did is like they configured from Java base, and we are not trying to run anything with Java. So this configuration file we did is like with simple VI, and what we do is like he did from a different version of Cloudera, right? So ours will be different version of Cloudera, isn't it? So like let's say like the jar file cannot be the same for all the Cloudera. So this one is Cloudera version 4.4. Okay, and if I have a different VM, that will be a different version, like or let's say 3 point something. For in order to resolve the compatibility issues, we need to create a Maven jar. I mean, like we will install a package, Maven package, and this Maven package is going to resolve the compatibility issue. Okay, so this will basically create a oh man. Mm-mm. Okay, let's say like see, we are just trying some examples. So I just run with some quick fix here. Okay. So what I did here is I try to copy his sources. So he has a Flume source, Hive, and Uzi Farkflow. So we will look into it in a different topics. But as of now, we'll focus on Flume sources. So basically, like he created a Flume configuration file using Java, and there are some compatibility issues as well, because what he did is like it's been done some 3-4 years back. So for that purpose, we are running a uh, uh, Maven package here in order to solve the compatibility issues. Okay. So what we do, we'll go to the desktop. Okay. See, what I tried to did is like I tried to create a Maven package in a different source. Okay, that cannot be possible because it needs to be the package needs to be extract on the folder. It will start looking for the source and the pem folder as well. Okay, so you can see uh, so I copied the copied his folders here. So now we have pump folder, pump file. Now the MVN should able to from the from its repository. Right. So it's able to download it directly from its repo. So give him some time. So any questions so far? Is that easy to catch? Yes or no, maybe. Okay, thank you. See, if you want to know more about MVN, you can always go to, I mean, uh, Maven also is Apache project, so you can get into their uh, tutorials. What why it's storing in jars and CVS, then yes, and you can understand from this website like why we are using MVN here. Yeah. So after running this, it will like this Twitter files will be like I'm sorry, not Twitter files. This PUM files will be uh, it will create a jar basically, and that jar will be inside the Flume source folder, which is in desktop. Okay, let's see that. Okay, so far we have three files. One is Flume configuration, one is POM XML, another one is source basically he created with Java. I told you, no, right? So here the Twitter source. You need not to go over that. Leave it for the moment. Okay. So as if now we have three items inside the Flume source folder. Now the Maven is running. So once it's completed with its repository and what it will do, like it will generate a file. Basically, it's going to be a snapshot of the jar file inside this folder. Okay, we will work with that. I'll tell you. And moving on, like in the future classes, we'll be working with Pig and Hive as well. For that purpose, we are collecting few datas. Okay, and that datas are coming from Twitter. Okay, and what we are trying to do today is like we are pulling datas from Twitter and trying to store that in HDFS. What we did yesterday is like we try to configure the Flume, and we like you can whatever type in the window, I mean the terminal, you can find it in the another terminal. That means like we established a connection through telnet, and we did that. And today we are trying to communicate with Twitter and pull the data from Twitter, and the format will be in JSON, and it will be stored in HDFS. Okay. Okay, let's have a quick recap. First thing what we did is like we created a Twitter application. We have noted down the consumer keys, consumer secrets, and the access token and the token secrets. Right? And we try to test OAuth. This is very important, guys, because without that you cannot have a otherwise you'll getting a authentication errors and like that. Okay. And once we did that, what we are trying to do is like we have configured we under we try to configure a so we did a configuration for Twitter API, and that's how we did this, like VI space Twitter.conf. Okay, so note the name of this thing because we have to run the name. The name should be you're trying to run from command prompt. And next, what we did is like step 4. We go in the, we created a source folder, so sorry, Fume source. Then we are trying to extract this MVN package, Maven package. Okay, it's done finally. And after MVN is done, we have to check inside this. See guys, so we have dependency things inside, right? So it created a dependency XML file, and it also have a target folder inside which we have snapshots, everything, right? So there won't be any compatibility issues anymore. Let's see. Let's see. Just a recap. Let's see from command prompt. See, this is the folder. Sorry, this is the file. Where is my mouse? Okay. See, this is the file where the Maven package has generated. So your this needs to be supposed to be in the configuration environment. So what we do, like we will copy this. We will copy this and put it into the configuration library. Okay, so let's go. Okay, take this to where user basically and library. So it should copy to this destination. So I'm not permitted to do that. I'm not permitted to do that because I'm a Cloudera user. For that, see, in order to access the library folder, you need to be in a root user. Okay. Cloudera as your password. Now, what I do is like I copy the same command here. Okay, and now it should go. Okay, let's check that. Check that whether it's copied. Okay, so inside this, you can find a hell lot of jar files. This all called as environmental variables. for your Hadoop. What we are checking here is for the folder, for the file name, the jar file name, like this, basically a snapshot. Final source, final sources 1.0 snapshots jar. Okay, so we are looking for that. So out of this environmental variables, we are looking for. Okay, we are into Flume thrift. Okay, see the folder has been copied, right? I mean the file is copied. The jar file is copied to the environmental variables. Now what we do. Okay. Okay. All right. So all good to go. Now what we do is like we'll try to run. Okay. All seems to be very complex, but guys, these all are very simple steps. Uh, Maybe if you try that yourself, it's very simple. Okay. Anyways, like I'll copy the source folder in the Google Classroom so that you can try yourself. Okay, this film source. Okay. To run this thing here, flume -ng. Oh my god! First switch user. That's okay. Let's run with this. Ng. Define the agent. Space conf. Hyphen conf. Hyphen file. Feature conf. See this is going to be the file which I want to run. So make sure this Twitter name should be similar as you configured. Okay, it should be you configured in the VA. Okay, otherwise it will not run. Configure, then my phone name, that was the name, and let's say like the Twitter in this configuration. What I do is like I'm just running the agent name as Twitter agent. Can be flume root dot logger space debug, sorry, info console. Okay, so let's run this. So it's trying to find the libraries. Then Okay, it says like the specified configuration file does not exist. Okay. Okay. See, guys, like I said yesterday, uh, you should always run from the uh, configuration directory. Okay. For that, what I do, like, I'll come down. Where is my configuration? My configuration is inside uh, inside user slash sorry. Okay. Inside that. Okay, I think yes, Flume. NG. Then you have to view this. Yes. What I do is I just run the command. So this was the command for running. So before that, let me check what's the contents inside. Okay, see, this is flume.configuration that we created yesterday. Okay, and this is Twitter configuration file that's inside this configuration directory. Let's check what is inside this before start running. So yes, everything is set all right. So let's run this Twitter from this configuration directory. Okay, you should run from the configuration directory. Okay, now it should work. It's looking for the libraries. So now it's starting. Now it's starting the new configuration with source, then sync, and the channel. Okay, it's taking some time. So in interview, if you're going to mention some project you did with Twitter, always make a note that they ask you for the format of the file. Okay, in Twitter you used to get the file format is JSON. Okay, uh, I have seen many candidates telling me that they did Twitter project, and when I asked them what is the file format, they used to tell me like it was in CSV or some SQL kind of thing. But that's not true answer. The right answer is JSON. Okay, Twitter always comes with JSON. So make a mind note. I always like I include the interview questions here and interview mocks. So this should be like you should be confident to attend the interviews, guys. Okay. So going forward, all these stuffs, I'll be rushing a little bit faster, but it's easy to grab. Okay, so it's not like Flume or MapReduce or anything. Just all things are very simplified and very easy to capture. Okay, even a layman can capture it. So it's taking time. Happens because my laptop is almost like it's running out of storage. So that's the step for pulling data from Twitter. And the source, like you already have mentioned the source, like it should be in the when we are configuring the source should be uh, the source path we configured in the VI Twitter configuration was user Cloudera Twitter _ Cloudera. Remember, I said like if you don't create a folder a directory like this, it will create by itself automatically, right? So this is the path. So check this path once it's done. Okay. So it's all good to go. It should be communicating with Twitter. It should be inside. So I'm stopping it here. I think your laptop should be faster than this. To stop, I just hit the control key plus. So that's it, guys, for Twitter configuration. You can check this path if you're trying this at home. I would request you to go over these steps and do it yourself. I'll make a proper note and send it in some time after this session, and try to follow with this. Okay. So far, so good. Any questions, guys? Yes, Karthik, no Karthik. Yes, Karthik, no Karthik. All right, so guys, the future classes are going to be very interesting. I would request you guys to go over with some basics of SQL. We'll be processing henceforth. So that's the end of the data ingestion. Also, we'll have some multi-node ingestion as well, like Sedu requested today. So we will see that in the next session, or else we'll see that tomorrow. Wanted to finish it the Flume in the last weekend itself, but it's carrying. I just wanted to give you a big insight on the Flume. Can we have a catch up tomorrow evening, same time maybe?